start this one. This is
Good evening. Welcome to Insight with the Godz. Knowledge and Lahkem. We having our special guest tonight, Coach D. She's definitely like a community activist, man, for the youth, and especially our young women. So we got on here today so she can really help us and walk us into her world of why she do what she do and would inspire her to do what she do.
facts.
And the root of it all, so she can give me a glimpse of what women go through, especially the young women. Right. So just make sure you key in, share it with somebody, like, share, subscribe to somebody that might need to hear this, because there's gonna be some valuable information that she's gonna share. So I got my notepad ready too, just in case, no doubt. And I'm gonna pass the mic to Lahkem, and he gonna pass it to Coach D.
Yes, indeed. Salute to the queen in the building, man. We honor our women, man. That's one thing that me and Brother Knowledge do, man. It's an honor to have her here. It's an honor for us to be in her presence. Sister got knowledge herself. She got a whole lot of jewels. I want everybody who follow us or, got any kind of connection to us to pull your young daughters up and set them down and have them listen and tune in, because tonight, one of them nights where we gonna peep the game from a whole different perspective, and I'm gonna let the sister go ahead and speak her piece.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Deetra, aka Coach D.
Coach D.
Thank you all. It's an honor to be here with you all tonight, kicking it with you all. I love what you all do.
Wow,
I love your honesty. Y'all stand in your truth. I get excited, when I can catch y'all. I know I can go in and get me 5 or 6 nuggets to get some type of insight, right? I'll get some type of insight. So, pretty much, if I could just give you a backdrop of my story, if that doesn't mind.
Yeah, just give us a brief understanding of who you are, how you started, what you do. What inspired you to do what you do? Just the birth of it. Like
The birth of
a lot of times when we do things that's fulfilled with passion, it comes from a hidden inspiration that we don't know how to interpret, and we interpret it through our work.
Right.
When we can find the root to where it began, a lot of time it came from something we experienced that's real similar. So I want you to go back to that if you can. As far back as you want.
Yes, I'm gonna start with at the age of 8 years of age. It goes back to 8. I've been actually assisting raising children since I was 8 years of age.
Wow.
My grandmother was deaf and hearing, and I had this innate intuition to stay close to my grandmother. My aunt was suffering from substance use disorder back in the day, having children like pretty much once a year, like for having children back to back, and I stayed underneath of my grandmother. It goes back to the era where we was putting children in dresser drawers. That was the bassinet, right? That was the bassinet. So I've been actively involved. Out of my almost 46 years of living, I've been actively involved in raising kids for 38 years of my entire life. So being a care provider naturally is what inspired me to help. I have never pretty much not helped, right? And instead of fighting up against helping and being a caregiver, I embraced it. So that's the true core. I was that little black girl that comes from the hood, but one thing that separated me from most people, I was a dreamer. I was a dreamer. I did not really complain a lot about watching children. When I saw the need, it was like it felt like the right thing to do was to step in, because the adults were so busy just trying to make ends meet coming up, and I would just step in. I learned how to cook. Had no food in the refrigerator. I don't know about some people. These youth today would look in the freezer and see a bunch of frozen meat, be like, "Ain't no food in the house." I come from an era when you open up the refrigerator and it was nothing but some baking soda. Baking soda, and if someone actually was using drug substances, that's my signature. Actually using substance drugs, when crack cocaine came out, now that baking powder was going out the refrigerator. I was still a care provider. My grandfather was sick, my grandmother was taking care of kids, and I remember one of the most impactful times of my life when we had two freezer burnt hamburgers in the freezer. And it was the end of the month, people get their checks at the first of the month, and we had no food. I borrowed potatoes and onions from my neighbors, and I bought the hamburgers, chopped it up real whole entire family, and that included aunts, uncles, boyfriends of my aunts, and everything. I fed the whole family. So I'm inspired to just be a part of the change that I want to see instead of waiting around for other people. I just never, intuitively, actually wanted to sit around and wait for somebody else to do it if I thought I had the ability to do it. So that's how I got here with helping and, being so much involved. If it feels natural, it's not a problem to get involved. To not get involved with certain things, it seems like a problem if it's something that I know I can help somebody with.
Facts. You said a whole lot, so I know back in the day I can recall sometimes the only thing is when people refrigerated their water. Wasn't no bottled water. You might have a plastic old milk container filled up with water, and that was kept cold. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that kind of gave me a flashback. But I want to talk about the power of how magnetic you are. When me and Brother Knowledge brung Chess in the hood, well, he brung Chess to the hood for the sake of clarity. I came as his support system, as I always support my brother. That's his creation. We showed up, me, Knowledge, and Brother Clark, and automatically it was like the whole universe of that house was revolving around your light. And when I walked in there, I felt that, like, that love that the young ladies gave you, the greeting they gave us because you had brung us there. It kind of like was that old love, that back in the day setting where nobody was uncomfortable. Everybody asked us questions and they learned. They actually was sincere about learning how to play chess. And I wanted to know, when did you know that you was like, that impactful and that magnetic on young ladies, per se young ladies?
I think per se for young ladies,
Yes.
I would say it goes all the way back to my senior citizens.
Okay.
Right. I was always drawn to the older people. They say that adults, the senior citizens are like children. So I grew up being around a lot of seniors. So the patience you have for seniors, you normally have to have for children as well.
Right.
Right. And I worked with, first I would like to say this, I was a teen parent.
Okay.
Right. So after raising kids, I got pregnant at the age of 15. That's my story. My daughter is 30, thriving, about to be an RN nurse. All odds were against me.
Right.
And when I graduated high school, I was 20, and I went into the field even with a charge. I had a CDS charge on my record. Had been detained and went to Central Bookings. They messed up my Reeboks when they took the strings out. And despite having a couple hiccups, I started working for the Department of Juvenile Services, being honest on my application, and that's where I retired from 2 years ago after 20 plus years of services.
Okay,
Right, so I went right, and I was a caregiver. Like, I'm used to taking care of kids, taking care of youth, but I noticed how people would say to me, ask teacher, oh, there she go.
Right.
People were actually not nice to me, y'all. My energy here, this was frowned upon coming up.
Right.
I was always happy. Look at Deidre, always excited. And people was like, there she go. But believe it or not, some of them same people to this day, it's like, there she go. Right? Because there she go. I've been consistent. So I made a decision, no matter what was around me, that I enjoyed being happy. So when I come across people, especially the youth and the female youth, they draw to me. They draw to me because I can communicate with them on their level. I'm not getting down on their level, but I speak to them on their level, but I remain the adult. And that's what separates me.
Wow.
I can be very realistic, I can let them vent, but I come kind of old school. We can talk about your mother, but we ain't talking about your mother together.
Right.
I've had the ability to kind of like pivot those conversations and say, well, tell me, what can you do better? I've always helped people to not just look at the problem, but try to find a solution and look within themselves. And that was natural for me.
Wow.
So that made them feel safe, that they can talk to me. And when they came to me, they never heard it again.
That's right.
They never heard it again.
That's key.
That's a big key. And even I would like to say something. You said when you came in that building, you had all the youth there. On the first day when youth work started this year, I had a young kid, 19. I had him from 20 all the way down to 14.
Right.
And when he walked up to me, he said, after speaking to him 5 minutes, he said, you know what? I can actually go to work here because I feel safe with you. And it was because my rugged edge with the same ability to discipline but show love.
Right.
So that's what makes me really magnetic to the females. I have a Heal Out Loud with I'm having a podcast, and it's kicking off with a couple females, and on the 17th of October.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And it's Healing Out Loud with Coach D, the youth edition, right? And these youth are really excited because I give them a voice. I listen to them.
That's right.
And I think that's a part of me being very effective and it being a safe space. They're not going to hear it again. That's important.
Yeah, it is.
I learned that from my children, though. I learned that from my children. Because when I would get on the phone and tell like what was going on in the house, oh girl, I just got finished. My daughter would be like, every time you get off, if something happened, mine, you go talk to Aunt Rhonda, you get on the phone. I'm like, ooh.
Right.
I wasn't doing it to outsiders.
Right.
But then inside of my home, I thought it was different. So what did I do? Deal with the pain of change.
Deal with it.
So I wouldn't have to deal with the pain of regret.
That's right. No
Yeah.
doubt.
Powerful.
Yeah, that's real, Coach D. No doubt. You said a mouthful right there. Because that magnetic light is what attracts them. It's like they gotta see something in you. You can't like force it on them. You can't go to them trying to tell them what to do. They gotta see that you have something to offer that they're missing. Right? You know, it can be something, a character trait that they just see in you that make them wanna. But you gotta make sure when you get their attention, you give them something worthy. You can't waste
Pull
that
on
time because you might don't get the opportunity again. And that's the way I treat them whenever they're in my circumference. It's like, even if I don't know them and I see something I can kind of modify a little bit in any kind of way without them really feeling challenged.
Yeah.
You know, I try to give it to them some kind of way because I feel like that's our duty. It's like we get this information and this knowledge and these experiences. It's on us to shape it, to figure out how to teach it. You know, and each person is different, so therefore we need a different solution for each individual.
Yes.
Right.
It's no one circular or one, objective decision that's for fit all. There's no one fit all. So it's like each situation requires certain kind of attention.
Yes.
And that's why we gotta make sure we stay connected and lend and borrow information and knowledge and what works and what don't, so that we can know. And that's why it's like we got you here, because it's like, damn, Coach D, she deal with a lot of the young women. And the young women very seldom get heard from.
Right.
The young guys don't either, but we got a lot of attention on the guys right now.
Right.
And there's very less attention. It's nowhere near in comparison to the attention that these young women
Well
need.
said.
And they need it just as much, if not more. They're the progenitors of civilization. They're the ones that birthed humanity, especially the black woman.
Yes.
Right.
So they supposed to get all the accommodation and attention
Please
so that
and
they
thank
can
you.
help carry on tradition and carry on legacy.
Facts.
So it's like we gotta boost them up and encourage and
Yes.
push and give them all ingredients, because just like they say, the man brings the material and she take it and make it into something.
Right.
That's the job of the queen. So it's like we gotta bring the material.
Right.
They ain't getting enough material. They forced to take anything they can get to try to make it do what it do. And we seeing the effects of it, with our broken children
Yeah.
coming from those kind of situations. And this is why we gotta heal these kids and heal them in all
Yes.
kinds of ways we can. And that's just what it's about. We gotta do it collectively. Each one reach one, teach one. But Coach D, I wanted to ask you, so just let the viewers know, because we know, but let the viewers know, like, what you do now, like what organizations you do, what you run, and how long you been doing it?
Okay. So I actually been a full-time entrepreneur for 2 years now. My organization is called Each One Save One. I have a pending nonprofit called Bridge the Gap Committee of Maryland. I have a program that's actually based off of 4 principles, and it's violence prevention, harm reduction, which is pretty much wrapped around sexual health, relationship retention, that's how I'm here today. Relationships rule the world, but there's the retention portion, and workforce development. I am a training facilitator. So those 4, and the number one of all is love, right? And I have this very unique way of making each and every kid feels special in their own way.
That's right.
In their own way. Like, I don't play favoritism. You all special to me.
That's right.
And you
Right.
don't say that to him, and you better not say that to him, right?
That's
So
right.
they see me operate, right? And I know this is about the organization, but I want to say that you see me, especially these young ladies, they see me operate, and I speak to them. And I'm the same way with each and every one of them, but it's just molded a different way.
Right.
So they don't hear me talking about adults behind their back.
That's right.
They don't hear me gossiping.
That's right.
So that's one of the main ingredients that kids will do. They're gonna treat you based on more what you do rather than what you say to them. And because my words match up with my actions,
Right.
it gives them a safe space. So I came into this space because there was a need for it. Working for the Department of Juvenile Services as a house arrest officer, I was the box lady. So I put you on electronic monitoring, and I was a fill-in court liaison. But when I wasn't doing that, I was a Maryland Police training commissioner. Training trainer through MPTC. So I'm a trainer. So I'm also I'm in the field of working with youth every day, going to their schools, going to their homes, and there was still a gap.
Okay.
So what I wanted to do was take the opportunity to come out here in the field to bridge the gap because the kids want money, and as females or males. And if I can provide them with training, CPR, first aid, babysitting, advanced child care, that empowers them, whether it's male or female, that now they have a trade.
Right.
Now they have a trade at a young age, not just after they come out of high school, but they can birth out a business. They can be independent. So I did this to be a part of the change that I want to see, because when you're working up close with these youth, you're in their homes.
Right.
You see how they're living. You seeing everybody working, they're going. Everybody busy. And the kids are trying to compare what they have to what the next kids have. You're not cool enough. You don't dress this way. These kids feel stuck.
Right.
So if I can empower these youth to be a part of the change that they want to see by shifting their self-image,
Right.
you got to give them something to shift their self-image.
Right.
And it's beyond talking. It's a
Right.
tangible tool.
That's right.
It's some tangible techniques.
That's right.
So this is why I do what I do, because I'm qualified. I love it. It does not feel like work. It feels like the right thing to do. And if
Right.
I don't do it, who's going to do it? Even though there's people out there doing it, and that's not my business to worry
Right.
about what the next person
That's right.
is doing.
Yeah.
Because I believe, based on what I believe, is that your gifts and talents shall make room for you. So I've unlocked a lot of my gifts and talents, and that's what I spend time with each and every one of these kids, is unlocking those gifts. Unlocking the gifts, unlocking the gifts. And every time they can unlock a gift, it gives them a sense of self-worthiness. It makes them feel empowered. And if I say something, I do it. It's the credibility. See, I can't sit here and say, "Oh, I'm qualified to do this. I'm a good person. I'm trustworthy. You better trust me."
Right.
It's the people out there that see, "Oh my God, Dietrich, you've been the same way all the time.
Right.
Thank you for being your authentic self." And my authentic self got me in trouble coming out because I was nice to this one, and now they think, "Well, she telling that business over there," and I ain't telling nothing.
Right.
Because I always wanted to do the 10%. I didn't like what I saw, y'all. 90% of the people, they running, they going, they doing this. I say, no, I don't want that.
Right.
So my awareness at a young age, I had a higher level of awareness at a young age. And I didn't know that until I start making check. If I graduated from high school, I purchased a house. I've never rented a house in my life. I am the true, all odds against me, a little black girl from Baltimore City. Right? I'm qualified. Tell the kids my story. Little black girl from Baltimore City, pregnant at the age of 15, been raising kids since she was 8, dropped out of school, went back to school and graduated at the age of 20, and started a career, and retired in her 40s, and about to turn my house, that I live in right now, and I've been there for 20 plus years, into a resource center.
That's what's up.
Somebody on Facebook just basically said the same thing. Dietrich is like family. Real talk. Veronica Yup asked her, she'll be your new best friend. I'm telling you.
Bless her.
Mother cool and everything.
Oh, bless
That's
her.
Tony Hazley just said that.
Bless you, bless you.
Yeah, that's what's up. Salute. That's magnetic. That's what it's about.
See, the evidence is going to see you don't get to tell people what you are to
That's
them.
right. No doubt.
Right.
You don't get that. They going to size you up, and then they're going to come back and give you their perception of what they see.
No
Indeed.
doubt.
But I will tell you this: I teach the youth the universal laws. I'm not just giving these kids skills. I'm teaching them about the 3 parts of their personality: the conscious, the subconscious mind, and the body. And 2 is unseen, which is the conscious and the subconscious mind. So I'm helping these kids to identify, especially these young women, to identify who they are from the inside out, not just based on what has happened to them, but based on what they have on the inside. And how can they discover that? And that's why my program is called the Discover Me program. Say Discover Me.
Discover me.
Say Discover Me.
Discover me.
Who you talking to?
Talking to me.
Talking to me. There we go. And that's where and that's where I started.
That's right. That's
No
right.
doubt.
That's where I started.
That's powerful because a lot of times when we be building, I always say in a lot of my sessions, one of my most common lines that I use is that when you're in the womb of your mother, you grow from the inside out and not from the outside in. You don't get an arm before you get a brain to tell the arm what to do.
That's it.
And so by you sharing your skill set and your teaching technique with us, it just let us know that we are on the right path.
Oh, no.
You know what I'm saying? By starting on the inside.
Yes.
A lot of times the way society is designed, it makes, especially our young women, believe that material amenities validate them. And from what I'm seeing and what I know of you, you're teaching them how to be validated by the power of who they are as a person, and understanding their subconscious mind, their conscious mind, and their physicality, and knowing the value of that. And a lot of times in our groups, we have relationship group nights. Some nights we have youth night. Trust me and Brother Knowledge got plans for you. You just don't know yet.
That's a my.
Yeah, you just don't know that we got plans. So it's when I received my certificate, you know, y'all kind of ambushed me that day. I didn't know, Brother Knowledge was like, just show up and just tell them who you are.
Right.
So I didn't know that, you know, what's the name, the collective.
It was called Unled Leading Men.
Right.
Ceremony. Honoring unled men, you know, that was unled but now leading.
Right, and I didn't know that all of these various people who had all of these different organizations within our community was present. And I met a lot of people, I connected with a lot of people. But as I said, I was just amazed at how you moved in the room, the energy. And me and Brother Knowledge, we always talk about authenticity. I think a couple of days ago, 2 days ago, I went to the Victor McCullen School up in close to PA.
I know Victor is.
And I went up there to talk to some young brothers. And I'm an ex-lifer myself. I had life plus 45 years, and I'm home by the grace of the ancestors.
Yeah, we thank you.
And one of the brothers up there, he had juvenile life. And the guys who invited me up there, and it was like, no, Lahkem, we want you to talk there, you know, because you're an ex-lifer. And amazingly, the young brother had his shit together. Like, he was already reading Napoleon Hill and asked me
read Napoleon, come on.
Yeah, so, and he asked me, he said, brother, if you can make it up here again, can you write down a list of books? I said, I can write the list down for you now. I was just excited that I had ran across a young brother who had took his own enlightenment in his own hands and didn't wait for somebody else to set up a curriculum for him to learn by.
And
And
he found the secret.
Yes.
He found the secret.
Yes. And so I gave him a few more Napoleon Hill books.
Yeah.
And a few, you know, other little things. And I told him if I can come back, whatever ones I have, you know, laying around the house, I'll bring him a few if the staff will let me give them to him. But just going up there and having that whole experience and talking to my youth, I understood. Better yet, I overstood the predicament that a lot of our young men are in is because of the damage that has been done to our women because they had mothers. And me and Brother Knowledge, we're not those brothers that talk about man being first and all of that on the planet, and we don't suffer from religious intoxication. No disrespect to anybody's religion.
Right.
But
it's a difference.
we're out of the circle of religiosity that don't really govern our thinking. So we overstand the power of the female principle in the universe and the active ability that the mothers have has to groom the saviors. Like a lot of people make a big deal about Jesus. I want to talk about his mother. I'm that guy. Like Jesus had a mother.
Talk about Mary.
Yeah, let's talk about Mary. You know what I'm saying? Since they already couldn't figure out who his pops were. That's a debate. You know what I'm saying? Is it Joseph or is it the Spirit of God? You know. So similar to the hood, who is his father? We ain't even figured that out yet. But we know damn well who his mother is.
Right.
And since we can identify the mother, I think the mother, the teaching and the blessings and the nurturing of that soul comes from that divine motherhood. So it's an honor again to have you here, and I want you to give us some more on that motherhood.
Ooh, motherhood it is so important.
You got a question?
Yes. Over on YouTube, Bub want to know, how do you balance it all?
How do I balance it all? The number one thing is planning in advance, right? If you pull up my phone, I got a calendar, right? Before I used to wing it, you know, taking the kids here, then sliding here. And over time, because we're habitual creatures, right? We're creatures of habit. So I've learned over the years, because I have been raising kids since I was 8 years of age, and I've learned to multitask and be able to multitask. But I learned over time that sometimes I can't be as effective. So now, how do I balance what I do now? I plan in advance. I don't say yes to every event. I don't go and jump to everything, being helpful, because naturally I'm like, what you said, you want me to come over here? Here I come. Here I come. I kind of pick and choose what I actually get involved in right now in this season, because that's a part of my development and it's a part of my effectiveness to really handle these kids and to plan out to be effective. Because I also run a free drop-in day program, the Discover Me program, in the fall and the winter. You know, I open up my doors. I'm not a nonprofit. My goal is to keep the building open and get these kids off the street. While everything else is pending. So it's about planning. I plan in advance, and a lot of people don't like to write. Okay, I'm gonna tell you right now. Write down what you have going on. We got to get back to pencil and paper. And pencil and paper is one thing that makes me very effective, because I believe if you write your vision and make it clear, you can bring order to your life when you bring order to your mind.
That's right.
Another question. Well, one is a comment over on Facebook. Sam Speaks said, y'all two are some good brothers. On YouTube, Bub said, and how do you recharge, regroup, and just pour back into yourself?
Ooh, I like that question. So one of the trainings that I created at the Department of Juvenile Services was a personal a self-care, and is a personal a self-care and personal wellness program. So I've identified those 8 areas of my life. Self-care is broken up into 8 areas. You got finances, you got work, you got relationship. So I will regress. I take days where I do absolutely nothing. I travel a lot by myself. Over the last 3 months, last 4 months, I've been on 3 trips by myself. So I go places by myself. I sit in solitude. Even though I got this big personality, I am a loner that's not alone. And if you see me behind the scene, I'm reading. I do not watch a lot of crazy stuff on TV. So I sit and I listen to the Bible. I sit and listen to inspirationals, Napoleon Hill. I listen to Bob Proctor, Murray Massey. I listen to things that make me feel good and that's going to hold me accountable from the inside out and empower me. So that's what I do. And I sit in a lot of silence. I'm by myself, honestly, like 90% of the time.
That was actually his next question. How do you rely on yourself to recharge? Who do you rely on to recharge you? So basically you.
Yeah, I rely on me and I rely on myself, you know. I don't put the burden on anybody else. I had this saying since I was younger: nobody can make me happy. They can only add to my happiness. So I can't put that responsibility on anybody to make me happy. I don't believe nobody can make me happy. They can only add to my peace or try to take away from my peace. So I just recharge. I do a lot of fasting. And all fasting is not with food. Some is from social media. Some is from the telephone. Some is from, just even, being involved. Like, I'm going to take a whole day and I'm just not going to do absolutely, positively nothing. I'll go find something like The Last Kingdom, because I watch a whole bunch of time period movies and I watch a lot of Asian movies and closed captions. So I'm up there reading. I'm reading because my grandmother was deaf, so that's one of my superpowers.
Right.
Because I watch TV on mute, not
Right.
knowing I'm just reading and reading and reading and reading and reading. So it's a calm spot for me.
YouTube, you said, Bob said you're an extremely strong woman.
Bless you.
Tony over here said, see, I said it's gonna be your bestie. I ain't even get through the show yet. How you know we gonna be besties? Cut it out.
Don't fight it.
Right, I ain't fighting it. I'm just saying, he just going over here preaching to me. Told you that's gonna be your bestie.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Coach D, so I wanted to know, like, what would be your goal or your dream, like, far as a support system when it comes to the girls, the young women?
Yes.
Like, what do you envision for them? Like, if you could just change it in a week, if I can say you got 7 days and we're gonna put it together for you, what can we give you for these young black girls, our young queens out here that's, from comprehension age to infinity?
What?
What do you think is needed most for young black women? What resource? What do you think they lacking the most in as young black women?
And positive role models. We're in a sexualized era. Very sexualized. Let's even go down to marijuana use, which is fine. People are grown, they can do what they want. But I think it's not a lot of discretion when it comes to parents and adults, smoking weed, drinking, partying. I think, when you so pumped up that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday coming up because we're habitual creatures, the influence of the parents is a big part of this. So they are so ready for their 18th birthday so they can turn up. Where they getting that from? So if I could do anything, I would duplicate myself. That's what I'm gonna do. Duplicate myself. And what I would do, I would set up, I'm telling you, I would set up an 8-week boot camp, Discover Me boot camp, where these young kids come in. I have some of the most awesome personal development trainers to come in. They will get certified. They're able to pick from. I'm only gonna go from the trainers that I actually can certify in right now: babysitting, advanced child care, CPR, first aid. I would set it up that Wisdom in 8 weeks. They could stay on grounds, be educated, and get certified, and take personal development courses. And tap into their potential, unlock their gifts so they can start to walk it out.
YouTube, how do you deal with youth who just don't give a heck about anything?
Difficult, our challenging ones. They're the ones I love the most. I'm gonna tell you something. I've had some interesting kids working with the Department of Juvenile Services, y'all. And
sure.
And I'm telling you, it's like the ones that they don't want, give them to me.
Same thing we said. Me and Brother Knowledge
They're the
said
ones
the
I
same
like.
thing.
I like that kind.
Give me to me. So I'm getting a little excited about that question there. They're my favorite because number one, there's trust issues off the bat. So all I do is I sit and I respect their boundaries, right? But I keep showing up as me. I've been cursed out by kids that were practicing satanic stuff and tell me you coming here with all this mother effing smiley stuff in my face. And guess what? I said, sign this paper right here. When it was finished, the signature sheet in community detention. Here you go, sign this sheet. I'll see you tomorrow. Then the next day I got there and I came up in that booger. I said, good evening, how are you? He said, how you doing, Miss Williams? I said, okay, sign that sheet. Day 3, how you doing? I said, we need to have a conversation. And that's when I be honest. I'm going to ask you a question. Do you think I deserve that? Do you think I deserve that?
Right.
I said, in the days I've came in here, leading up to what you've done, did I change? See, I get to pivot and reject what they do. I don't personalize it. And see, that's what makes these kids, see, I don't get on that level. And it's a difference when you're talking to a youth and you starting to argue with them. It's a difference. See, I get to communicate. I know how to communicate, not argue. I'm not arguing with you. I'm going to shut my mouth, let you talk, but you're going to hear me now. Because you started this and I want to bring resolve. Now tell me, what can I do differently? Maybe I'll talk a little less, but you're not going to stop me from showing up because I like being here. And I'm a big kid.
Excuse me, please.
Listen, I'm a big kid. I show up. I say, and I'm gonna still be happy when I see you. And I know I've not had not one case in my 20-something years from working at Cheltenham Youth Facility
Mm-hmm.
before Baby Bookers was ever even built while I was in the process. From there, having aggressive kids, I've had kids that all types of, I've went through a lot. But I still remain the adult.
You're the kind I like.
They're the kind I love, man. The next thing you know, it's like those the kids be like, you know, they protect you. I had to tell the kids, you ain't running nothing. You're not the boss, Miss Rose. They can't say nothing to you. I said, didn't I have it before you got here? They would love to protect you. So those kids now protect you because guess what? They learned that they can trust you. And keep in mind, for as sure as they know who got on the same jeans or the same work pants every day, y'all know how I go. You know who wear the same clothes when y'all was incarcerated. You know, y'all them kids size you up. They know who's coming on shifts. They know, right? I had kids when they had a riot at Baby Bookers when they first opened up. They like, the kids trying to give me signals like, so you gonna do overtime tomorrow? They sizing me up because they don't want you to riot while I'm there.
While you working,
While I'm working. But guess what happened? They called me in, right? I still came up in that booger. And we had to do what we had to do. And, and it is what it is. And the kids respect me because I respect them.
And they remember that for a long time.
Yes, they do.
Everybody want to feel like they somebody. I don't care who you are, what you've been through. And I notice, like, when I come past some of those little guys or whatever, the ones that's in the most pain be the ones that's the most sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
When you get past that wall,
So it's like the tougher the shell, the deeper the sensitivity. Like, they got the most to cover up and protect. And it's like it's fragile. So the least little thing might crack it.
Yeah.
Right.
So if you can't reach them and padding it before it's cracked, because the least little thing will crack it.
The least little thing is liable to crack it.
Tiptoe to it, but they don't understand it. And I do feel like I always say this, that we, the ones that was missing that went to prison, unfortunately, and some fortunately, we did a disservice. By our absence, that's what it leads to. This is the chain reaction. This is the effects of it. And it's like everything, the way the universe is designed, is orchestrated to work itself out. Like things have to happen. Some things gotta die in order for things to grow. It's like this, right? You got fall, you got the seasons, this is the death cycle. This is when we get the least amount of sunlight. So these cycles, we gotta understand these frequencies and these cycles because they affect us as a whole as well.
Yes, they do.
So when you understand and tap into that part of yourself and know, like, damn, well, these are the elders that we used to watch movies about. See, we used to see grandma and them, so we looking for the old person. And we think that we only supposed to listen to the old person. If they ain't old enough, then their word not valid. So we got too caught up in the exterior of the picture. We got caught up in the picture, and we missed the message and the lesson that was let down, like from our ancestors. It's like they passed jewels down through us. And the rest of the jewels we got came from the conditions we were in. So what the conditions shaped us into, now we gotta take that and then show the other people that's coming behind us what that look like, so that they can choose another course. So it's like we gotta take the knowledge and pass it back some kind of way. And when we don't, it affects us. You know what I mean? It does. It's like even when I think about European people. And this racism and stuff that's going on when they're dealing with these black women coming up missing and these hangings going on down south, right? Of course, there's not enough attention on it, but you would think that things like that would make us come together because we see the way the world think about us. So let's not beg at the table for them to treat us better. Let's just show the world that we love each other and we are better. It's like we keep expecting validation and credit for what our ancestors done. And we can't do that. We can't go off of this black stuff no more. Look, we just black. And that's that. That got us by one time. But nobody cares no more. So now we gotta reach back and get the babies and the youth and give them as much as we can. Because we don't know what tomorrow gonna bring. And we might don't have the opportunity to give them the jewel. So we gotta store them up as much as we can.
As much as possible.
Every time we see a problem, we all gotta become problem solvers. I was in Walmart one time, and I'm in the county, right? And I'm going through the line. It's kind of crowded. It was still like COVID time, like dying out. People still wearing masks. So you really can't see who's who.
Right.
So I'm in the line all the way through the aisle. Like when people coming by, they gotta cut through the line to get through the aisle.
To get past.
So I'm waiting. So 2 guys come by and a girl. They walk by, so they looking at me, and just a regular old like I'm in the county. This make a difference. This is how the internet gangsters get their credit. They think I'm in the county. I can get one up on him. I'm not from the county, home.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But they
You
don't
ready
know
to do
that.
one
But
of the
anyway,
finest.
so they looking and looking. So I took into consideration that he don't know. He might think he know me because I got on a mask. He can't really see me.
Right.
I just gave him the benefit of the doubt. I looks away. I see I don't know him.
Right.
I looks away. I looks back. He's still looking at me. I look back. Nobody's behind me. I'm more than out now. I got an opportunity here, right? I can either teach,
Something.
or I can let this idiot, or somebody else might kill him,
Yeah.
right? Because this is what lead to senseless murder.
Yeah.
You know, you don't know what kind of demons or skeletons I got in my closet. I might think you're an enemy or a foe.
Yeah.
And now I just move on. You and be waiting you in the parking lot over nothing.
Yeah.
So sometimes this is
Yep.
this is when silence becomes violence. You know, you might say, well, man, I ain't paying that nigga no more. Well, he might be paying you somebody. He might think you somebody.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
just
Right.
because we want peace don't mean that's gonna be the resolve.
Right.
You know?
That's true.
So I took it upon myself to go over there to him because he just standing there looking. So I said, "How you doing, bro?" You know what I mean? He said, "What's up?" I said, "You know me?" I took my mask down. I said, "You know me?" He said, "No." And he looked me up and down. I said, "Well, why are you looking at me like that?" Right? I said, "I'm gonna ask you like a man in your face. Why would you look at me like that?" I said, "You don't know what I got on my mind. I could be deranged. You know what I mean?" I said, "I can have HIV or something just ready to just blow it."
Right.
I said, "You don't have no kids or no mother, nobody care about you." I said, "You don't value your life, or you could do something to me and then you lose your life to prison."
Right.
I said, "Over nothing." I said, "What was wrong with just speaking?" You know what I mean? He said, you right, OG. I said, "I don't have no problem with you. I just wanted to make sure that you knew who you looking
Yeah.
at so it won't be no
So
misunderstanding."
we don't go nowhere past
Right.
this. Right.
This is what's missing because he like melted, him and his homeboy. And it ended up, before the conversation was over, he ended up basically saying like, "Damn, man, we missed this. Where this at? We
Right.
need people like this."
Somebody else probably would have
You know,
straight laid
'cause I
them
ain't
out in the
laying
store.
on him enough. I
Right.
wasn't trying to disrespect him, but I wanted to talk to him like a man.
Give him that
And
heads
I
up.
didn't want to baby talk him. Like, man, you know, I want to give him a jewel with it. It's
Right.
like, if we're going to confront him, we got to leave him with a jewel.
Yeah, no
I'm
problem.
not trying to get you to like me, but I want to leave you with something because that can get you killed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we don't know that because they don't know who people dealing with.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like we all got work to do in those areas. When we see it, we gotta find a way to know how. You know, some things we're gonna have to keep it walking on.
Yeah.
But we gotta know if we got the power to change it, don't be so selfish.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta get to work now. I ain't got time for that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
You-
so
You
perfect.
know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
go ahead,
yeah.
build on that,
Thinking.
Coach D.
No,
Yeah.
it's so perfect. What I'm thinking is because that's a gap when it comes to these young girls. And I'm gonna speak. We're speaking about the young girls. It's the same thing with the guys, but with the young girls, it's time because we're living in such a busy world. And one thing that made me very effective. Now I live right in the extended hood. I call it right now, Northeast Baltimore. Right. And most people like to refer my children to, "Oh, you got county kids." Why? You know, it's not county kids. I'm like, I worked in the county. So what you talking about? All my caseloads in the county. What do you
Right.
mean? I question some. I
Right,
answer
right.
quick.
Right.
So, what do you mean? The difference between what I did, this little black girl, little young teen parent, and I had 3 children, little black girl, little teen parent, is that for as busy as I was, I kept my children just as busy. So there's a gap in supervision when it comes to our single black mothers in the household because they're at work, the youth are going wherever they want to go, and that's what made me feel that gap because one of my mentees, who's my goddaughter, she's a returning citizens child. You know, Nigel Jackson's not a secret because he got his jobs on deck. He do his podcast. You know, he's raising his child for the first time. She doesn't have a mother. Her mother is misplaced in Ohio, right? So he has a male. He has his father here. Yes, she has her daddy, but then daddy busy. He got to go, right? So me and him, we co-parent together. I took her on. I give her here. At first, I mind my business.
Right.
Give her here. So now we co-parenting this child because see, I told him it's too much a gap in time. It's too much free time, and that's one of the biggest things that our young girls
That's
are
where they
doing.
get lost
That there are not enough activities, and we know that. But we have to be very strategic to keep our children as busy as we are. that we know where they are at, because we think, oh, they teenagers. It's like when we were growing up. Oh, no, it ain't. I know it is not. But when you used to wander and walk around, you know you was at a low defense, and sometimes we look at it the same way when it comes to our children, and that's a big gap right there. Supervision is a big gap with these kids, because they get around each other. They listen to see how other relationships is. If I'm on the phone and my mother got best friends and she gossiping, I'm measuring how to be a friend based on how what I see. We're nothing but creatures of habits. If I'm a little black girl, you put me and took me to China, and I was raised there. I promise you, I'll come back down, ding dong, that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying? I will come back not speaking English, because I'm learning a new language. I'm no longer there. I will only learn what I'm being taught, and that's either consciously or subconsciously.
Yeah.
How many times that you say you ain't like some song, but keep coming on 92 cute, and next thing you know, you singing it.
You know every word to the song.
You know, every subconsciously. So we got to be very careful. And I think because the hustle and the grind, because like they said, a lot of the men were gone. We get that. Okay, we get that. So we pick up these responsibilities, but now we're moving and we're going, and we don't have. Everybody's on the independent thing. We don't want nobody living with us, so the family dynamics are so stretched apart. And nobody wants to get involved. That's their problem. We're in a desensitized era where that's not my issue. That's not my problem. And although I get involved and some people give me advice, I know when to hold them, when to fold them. I see the behaviors and the patterns of the parents. I give them my basis, and guess what? I jump out, and when they come back to me, I give them my truth, and I challenge their thinking.
You know, it's powerful because, as you and Brother Knowledge was speaking, I was thinking about, it's this like saying that I often say: you're not only responsible for what you do, you're also responsible for what you do not do. So if you see something about to occur and you do nothing, two things are about to happen. If you see somebody need knowledge of self and you don't give it to them, you're violating the law of use, because what you have been given must be put to use.
Yes.
And the second principle involved is that same person who you don't save is a potential enemy, because he lacks the knowledge of who he is or who she is, and they're going to weaponize what they think their strength is and use it in the wrong way.
Yes.
Right.
And this is why it's important when we talk to the young to explain to them what their true power is and what their true strength is. A lot of times when we look at our youth today, the young men are lost in masculinity. Bravado supersedes their intelligence, but their bravado is oversaturated with emotionalism.
What's bravado?
Bravado is when you stick your chest to the sky and you're
Okay.
It has a Spanish root. You hear the word brave and bravado.
Okay.
It's like you're letting your testosterone overrule your thinking in every situation. There you go.
Gotcha.
And so in the women are over centralized. Like they're like 11 years old, 9 years old, and they twerking and they watching all of these shows that have that in it. And like Coach D was just saying, like they're learning bad habits at a young age. And since the subconscious mind is a magnet, it's pulling that in.
It multiplies.
And it's storing it.
Yes, it is.
And since the eye, like this camera that's recording us, is the vision, but your memory is the film. So you're playing back in your mind what you see.
You better tell it.
Come on, you
come on, La.
As you as you play back, or as they play back what they see, they begin to repeat this recorded habit in their mind. And a lot of times, in order to get out of a bad habit, it's like you get stuck there. Like the scratch record, like the needle would dig a groove in a record, where it's like a ditch.
From being scratched.
And it keeps repeating the same words or the same behavior over and over again until somebody come along and lift the needle out the groove that it then dug. And so with people, their habit has dug them down into a situation and they keep repeating behavior after behavior and can't until somebody raise their vibration and get them out of the ditch that they was in. But when you refuse to do that, When you walk past them and ignore them, that ain't my problem.
Yes.
Then when your grandmother get robbed,
Mm-hmm.
then when your daughter get violated, it's by the same young guy who you could have gave a jewel to.
That's right.
So everybody who you ignore becomes a potential enemy or potential danger to other people when you don't align them with the knowledge of who they are and
Sure
arm them with a skill set and with gifts and let them know that your strength don't have to come from stepping on people. I think the society and as Brother Knowledge was talking about, the way Europeans have ran everything, we have mimicked how they run their civilization.
As if that's the way.
Right. And we measure success
Come
in the
on.
street by how many people we can step on to get to the top. Where we don't think collectively. We don't think, damn, if I give this brother this information and he pass it on,
Impression of increase versus decrease.
then now we got a whole army of conscious brothers.
Right.
We want to be, as Brother Knowledge always so eloquently put out, we want to be the only one with it.
Yeah.
Oh, see,
Yeah.
Brother Malcolm taught me himself. You know, I know all the degrees.
Right.
I'm gonna share a little bit of them with y'all, but
Right.
you know, when you get in these organizations or around these people, and they have a language that no, you ain't ready for that yet. But life coming at you, you gatekeeping and staircasing information that can save lives. Then get mad when brothers like me and Knowledge giving it out for free. You going around charging people for what we giving them for free,
Just shoving them in the water.
and all we ask for is for your attention.
Right.
So you can give something back to the youth. We ain't asking you to pay anything but pay attention.
Yeah.
That's
Let
it.
that be your deposit.
Yes.
Give us your attention, and I guarantee you your conversation with your woman will be much deeper. And I guarantee the women, your conversation with your man will be much deeper. And that magnetism or that magnetic attraction that governs family life, that sun, moon, and star, man, woman, and child, that personal universe will strengthen.
Right.
And this is what the broken home look like. And that's why I always say that the home is the base.
Yes, it is.
It is the base. Whenever
Inside.
you meet anybody who is fractured, who is broken, who is just in turmoil, look at their home structure. Examine the home that they come from. And I guarantee you that'll answer it all. Remember the bully in school? The bully most likely was hiding so many defects
Yes,
and so
sir.
many imperfections that he was usually the dumbest one in the class.
Yeah.
So he definitely was going to
Or
disrupt
the
the
just
class.
the most hurt in the class.
Right,
Yeah.
that too. And it's the same with the sports jockey. You know, they used to have a saying, the big dumb sports jockey. He know how to
Yeah.
run a football, but he can't pass his SATs to save his life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so what we have to do is put more emphasis on the inner development
Yes.
of their inner heart, their inner mind, and let them know that there's a power in compassion. It's not a power in being misused, because we're going to teach you balance. The scales of Mayat has to be balanced, but lead with compassion first.
Yeah.
Brother Knowledge talked about the pain of being hurt. And I got a program called Heal, and I use this metaphor a lot. A lot of times when you get an open wound, if it heals correctly, the part that was hurt usually grows back tougher than the rest of the skin.
Yes, it does, especially on the
So,
Yeah.
right. So
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you get healed properly, that weakness or that vulnerable area will heal, and you'll be much stronger in that area now.
It's a little
And
extra cocoa
that
butter.
is what
Yeah.
we are giving you, trying to heal you emotionally, psychologically, mentally, spiritually, so you can develop that covering over you that gives you that shield that protects you from weaknesses and suffering and misguidance, because negativity has a strong gravitational pull. And I want to touch on this real quick before I ask Coach D my next question. The over sensualizing of black femininity has really disgraced a lot of our ancient cultures. And I talked about this before, how in our tropical lands that we emerged from, our women walked around because sunlight meant a lot to our melanin. Sunlight meant a lot to the pores in our skin. So our women walked around, and the men. We didn't have to cover our whole body because we understood the law of breath. The body had to breathe. We understood your pores are air holes where oxygen has to get in your body. You are a spiritual being. But when we came in contact with other people that over-sensualized our body parts, that nakedness became something to over-sensationalize instead of something to learn from. And so even twerking, we don't understand the African tradition of a dance called mapuka, where the women would twerk, and this would put their bodies back in shape and help their cervix come back in its original position after giving birth to children. We had spiritual practices in place through physical things. If you notice the word exercise and the word exorcise is almost the same word outside of the letter O and the letter E in there. Exorcism is when you get a demon extracted out of you. Exorcism is when you work out and you throw off sweat.
Yes.
You throw off negative things that you've been carrying. When somebody tell you, man, go beat the bag in the gym. You frustrated, go work out. Go do some push-ups, go jump rope. Because you're throwing off that excessive energy, that demon that was on your back. You're getting it out of your system. And that's what we're doing. We're giving you that exorcise. So you can throw off those things and come to life and come back to light of intelligence of who you truly are. And so, back to Coach D.
Okay.
I want to know, like, relationship-wise, because this is very important for a lot of black women.
Okay.
Women in general, right? You were a teen mom. Like, explain to them in your experience how the struggle of still being successful and not letting that be a crippling effect in your psyche and in your habitual movements to gain ground with mastering yourself.
So when you say crippling, you mean
as society projects on us when you have a baby when you're young, it'll stop you from doing this. They force you to get the abortion psychologically or even physically. How did you ignore all of the quote unquote negatives equated to having a child young and still move out with confidence and becoming who and what you are in this present time?
Well, I think I was exercising some laws and didn't understand that I was exercising some laws. I would reject a lot of the things that people said. I didn't value a lot of these people's opinion because I watched their behavior. As a young kid, I said I had a certain level of awareness.
Right.
I started watching people's behavior when it didn't add up to their words. Right? So I protected myself. Like I said, I would get looked down upon because I was happy. Right? So I didn't have anybody patting me on my back saying, good job, Deetra. So I would do this. Good job, Deetra.
Right.
So I self-motivated.
Okay.
I used to have an imaginary friend. So grateful for my imaginary friend because guess what? We were made in his image. I mean, no how you look at it, we were made in his image.
No doubt.
So I was always a dreamer. And because I was raising kids and assisting, the middle of the night was my quiet time. So that's when I dreamed, and me and my girlfriend Tina used to sit down and story tell. It was me, you, Bobby, and Naughty. I will always dream, and I will hold conversation with older women, right? So I was connected to older, senior people who spoke about love, who spoke about nothing's wrong with you, girl. Nothing's wrong with you. You just fine. I used to talk a lot outside of talking, but I was sucking up that information. But I just never really truly valued outside opinions because I didn't like the way you treat me the way you treat them when you don't get your way. So you still want to treat me that way. I didn't think that I was excluded from the deal. I didn't. So sometimes when you can get numb to certain things, it was like I was good if I did it, or if I was good what I did. If I didn't do it, now you're mad at me, right? So if I'm gonna make a decision, if you want to reject me, you want to talk about me being a teen parent, that's fine. But keep in mind, I've been raising kids since I was actually helping assisting just naturally. So when I stepped into the role of motherhood, guess what? I already raised this baby. I didn't raise dad's. I know I can raise this one right here. I was already prepared by getting involved. And nobody said you had to sit in that house. That ain't my story. You gotta sit and watch them kids. I used to have a baby on the hip. Well, a baby on the hip. No. That's not right. If you get a baby on the hip sometimes, two of them in the front and the other one on the back holding like this with the other one walking on the side. And they were all 9 months, like almost 9 or 10 months apart.
Right.
So I didn't look at, even though I was ashamed, because I used to tell people, oh, I was exactly 16.
Right.
That wasn't true. I rounded it off. I do the storytelling on sexual health. I said I rounded that ish off because I didn't want to hear nobody's mouth, right? Because I was good enough to raise your kids and good enough to help you, but it wasn't good enough to raise my own.
Wow.
And then I watched a lot of Black history stuff, and I saw that people were birthing out children, having kids when they were 8, 9, 10-year-old.
Yeah,
back in the
please
day.
know it.
You understand? People had 10, 12 children. So if I already got a number of 5 children that I help raise, number 6 is gonna be all right. And I done raised over 10 children, and now mothering a misplaced child that is now thriving. And even Nigel, he called me today. They say, our baby, she wasn't lying. She wasn't lying about, her grades and so on and so forth. And he said, you know what, Coach, thank you so much, Coach. I could not do this without you because I bring that motherly figure. I bring that motherly energy. So I'm grateful for being involved in raising somebody else's children because it helped to mold me. And I just rejected what people said to me because I learned to use one of my mental muscles, which is my imagination, and created the picture I wanted to be. And that's why I'm here today. Because I always had a vision.
Yeah, it brings a different kind of boldness.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
It brings a different kind of boldness.
was running out of time. I was informed.
Okay.
I actually was so engulfed
Oh,
that
bless
the
you.
engineer was not paying attention. I was into the
But
conversation.
as in closing, right? In conclusion, I want the world to listen to this. This sister has a voice. She's powerful. When you see her, you bow down. You give her that respect. She's one of the leaders in our community. I have an event coming up November the 13th. I'm putting an event together to celebrate me and Brother Knowledge community groups and the success of it.
Awesome.
And definitely invites will be extended out. I'm gonna have you as my honored guest speaker.
Oh, bless you.
Me, you, and Knowledge will be blessing that podium and Center for Hope where I work. We gonna put together something nice. We've been wanting to do it, but I just said, you know what? They call that month Thanksgiving. We gonna call it We're Giving Thanks to pillars in our community. So
Okay, I like
we're
that.
gonna definitely get in there and do that. So we're gonna hand out some invites. Definitely,
I thank
Miss
y'all.
V will be there. She became the apparatus for our voice and our visual to be heard.
Yeah.
So we will definitely, we're gonna serve up the community and we're gonna bless up everybody. We also have a youth night coming up with my group. So any of you youth, I know you like the hard heads. Tell the world, y'all got young people, y'all can't handle them. Send them to me in Knowledge Group. we got them.
Yeah,
we
we just
we
trying to help them
there.
find out what their talent is. A lot of them don't know
That's
what their
it.
talent is.
Tap into it.
So all we
Yeah.
doing is just trying to help them lead them to their talent.
Mhm.
So when they
That
get to
part.
talking about the group and coming to the group, don't think it's no lecture, seminar. Not we just trying to tell them what to do. No, we just trying to help them find their purpose.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And if
They
you
gonna
stay
find
on them, they normally
They
do.
grab
find
it. Yeah, they grab it. They always lead with something.
They
You know
find
what I
the
mean?
vine.
They
You
grab
know.
Yeah.
it. Yeah, they definitely.
They normally, I don't want to even deter. I know you're going to wrap up. I just wanted to say this. I have been back working in the school system since school started. Second graders. And this second grader, she would cuss me out every day, every fat whatchamajigger she can get out her mouth. And then she finally said a week ago, you just keep coming back. I said, I'm going to keep coming back. When is the last day of school? And the teacher said, June, blah, blah, blah. I said, I'm going to be here every day till then. And she was like, well, all right, then. You can sit by me. Oh, I know, I knew you would like it. The thing is, you got to keep on giving that rough spot to them rough ones. Because all it do is smooth them out. Smooth them out eventually.
Staying firm in your position.
Yeah, so, I'm a big,
You just can't go at it with the wrong position.
yeah.
Sometimes you go in trying to be too nice and be their friend.
Yeah.
And then they disrespect you, now you want respect. It's
No,
too late.
it's
It's
too
too
late.
late. Kill the relationship.
Nope.
You gotta go in proper, you gotta stay firm on
And you got to stay
represent.
firm on whatever you coming in
Yeah,
as.
yeah, you can't
Or they going
wait.
to take you
No
for the
doubt.
bluff,
Yeah.
or they going to bluff you, yeah.
And they respect that. That's how
Yeah.
they elevate and grow. But I appreciate everybody for tuning in with Coach D.
Thank
She's
you.
definitely a powerful sister, man. You're gonna hear from her. You're gonna see a lot of things being done. One thing I can say about her, man, she is on her purpose. She is definitely sincere and is passionate from the heart. I see in action. She passionate with the
No
kids.
doubt.
They love her. I mean,
Facts.
she brings tears to my eyes just watching,
Oh, bless you.
just watching how they just receive her energy.
Awesome, awesome.
You know, it's like she provides so much that they're missing. You know what I mean?
I gotta come
see it.
through
You
there.
know, it's like the
gotta
mother.
come
She
on
like
through there.
everybody mother, even the little young guys. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Awesome,
It's just little
awesome.
girls. It's the little
Awesome. I
guys
gotta
too.
come
We
on
seen
through
You know what I
there.
mean? They definitely. I love them. I got attached to them instantly.
Really?
You know.
I gotta come
some
on
of
through
them get a
there.
little
Since
gracious
Tony
in
said
the
she my new
beginning, but They
bestie.
loosen up.
I gotta come on through
And
there.
all of them. You just got to tap into their potential.
Yeah,
man,
that's
help
every.
them see
Yeah,
it. You
that's
know,
everybody.
That's what it is. But I
'Cause that'd be rough,
salute
man.
everybody.
Knowledge and
Like,
tap
share,
into mine.
subscribe.
Peace.
Uncommon Dialogue, get my book, Finding Your Why, the ebook. Check it out,
Please.
tap into yourself. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Your inner self, that's what it's about. Energy, INNER.
That
Energy,
inner God.
inside.
Okay.
Energy, that's what we talking about.
Yep.
We out.
Good.
You
Peace.
said.
Yes.
Uncommon Dialogue, new location, 161 Rec, for those that know where that's at. That's Old Harbor City on Saratoga and Schroeder Street.
Oh,
Okay.
They
okay.
got a new location right there. They got a new development center. I said, I'm from this neighborhood, and all
Why
the
not give
developers
back
are
to
not. Why can't I have a spot?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Facts.
You know, I'm bringing some
Facts.
energy to my community. Y'all don't
Yeah.
give a damn. Y'all develop.
So I'm gonna let you wait till you
trying to
finish.
develop
Now.
them.
Okay.
Love y'all.
And you should, as you
No
should.
doubt. So they respected it and said, all right, bet. Just let me know when, because they got a grand opening and they trying to get some programs. So they trying to get
So
another
you right in the
program,
door.
with the parents, and they gonna have trying to have like a parenting class, like some women that run a parenting
Oh yeah.
program.
Oh,
They trying
Oh,
to
okay.
get for some single parents, you know,
Yeah.
young women. So definitely
I love
need
it.
that. You know, the guy open to it, so he just trying to bring people in here, black guy, young guy.
Give me the name. Let me
Yeah,
hit them up.
definitely. Y'all definitely they just starting to open, so
So hope
Yeah.
everybody
What's
got
up?
that. Say the address one more time before we
Community
close.
development.
yeah, that's Popular
That's what we need.
Recreation Center, which is 1049 West Saratoga Street, which is the old
Yeah, I like
161.
Your address.
Greater Model Rec.
Yeah,
My
these
group will be
women.
there this Tuesday
Oh,
coming
nice.
up. Our first group gonna be at that spot, and we're gonna make it epic. You know, a lot of people gonna start be coming through, so there's no excuses. I'm bringing Uncommon Dialogue to the hood. Your hood ain't gonna come out to me. I'm coming to the hood.
Yeah,
Coming to
that's
the
me, that's
hood.
me, I love
Lyle,
that.
you want to give your address before I close?
Coming to a
Flash
hill
Council
near
Hood.
you.
160, what's that?
No, I ain't talking about you.
Oh, 5400 Preakness Way. Heal is an acronym for Healing, Elevating, Analyzing, and Learning every other Wednesday. And be there this Wednesday. Got a good group for y'all. Come out, show out, conversate, and get you a meal. You know I feed y'all every time.
Definitely eat well.
I'm not going to let you leave out of there without a mental and a physical meal.
All right, y'all.
Peace.
Peace.